messages and talked about me like a dog because I love Charlie Kirk and I stand with him and I stand with Turning Point. I stand with this country. I'm going to tell all y'all, go yourselves. Erase me. Drop me off your list. Y'all don't have to talk to me. Y'all ain't got to see me. Unfriend me. Unfriend me. Unfriend me. Unfriend me. Turning Point, motherfuckers. Turning Point.
It's been an absolutely horrible week. And I feel bad. I feel bad for that man's wife and the children. I do. I do. But I don't think people understand how seeing so many people venerate a person who would say the things that this man said about Black people, seeing them put him on a pedestal and seeing people get fired because they simply said, I'm not celebrating it, but I'm not going to give it my focus because they felt like he offended them. They don't understand how that makes people that look like me feel. We did not grow up during a time when people could be so open about their hate towards us. So seeing this now is just, it's unsettling. And then you have NFL teams that are holding moments of silence for this person. But what about other people who have died in this country that didn't make their name off of disguising hatred as the word of God? It's scary. It is. I have never been more scared to be a Black woman or the mother to a Black son in my life.
I had to walk out of church today over comments about Charlie Kirk. I'm on the verge of tears sitting in this parking lot because I'm having such a complex with my faith. Because I genuinely don't understand how Christians are pushing this man as though hate didn't come out of his mouth and heart on a consistent basis. And I'm genuinely sitting here like, if this is the God that we serve, if this is the reflection of the God we serve, do I want to be a part of it? I'm truly having a conflict with my faith because the leaders that we're supposed to be following are guiding us in this way to feel empathy and sympathy and like that this person was this great Christian and that the message that his wife gave was, it started off with like praising God. And I'm like, did we miss the chapter of hate that he endorsed, encouraged, and pushed? I don't know where to go from here. To spew hate and hide yourself behind a Bible, to me, is not something I want to be a part of, and it's not the faith I want to be a part of. So what do? I got up out of church and walked out. And I'm at a battle within myself sitting here. It's like, to what do I do? I don't want him to be a reflection of what I believe. And what do you do when your leaders and your pastor is saying that is the reflection? To me, I feel like I'm smart. I feel like I've worked hard to get where I get, and to push a man who thought that I didn't have the thinking capacity to get to where I am, that I stole a white person's spot. Like, to think that that's the okay thought, that me as a black person can't function in this world and be just as great as the next, that I don't deserve where I am. Is that what God thinks of me? Is that what this faith thinks of me? I don't know.
I'm gonna say it because y'all can't fight me. For the people who are like, that was his political opinion. Okay, pause. Let's run it back to grade school and discuss what is a political opinion. A political opinion is something like, how high should taxes be? Should the states have more control than the federal government? Should we regulate guns more or less? See, these are political opinions. You can agree, disagree, debate them. That's politics. But when you step into saying things like black women don't have the same cognitive ability as white people, or that black people were better off in slavery and Jim Crow because they committed less crimes, that's not a political opinion. That is racism and white supremacy. When you claim that the 1 in 5 women who report SA are liars, that's not a political opinion. That is misogyny. When you argue that even a 10-year-old child who is SA'd should be forced to carry that pregnancy to term, that is not a political opinion. That is violence and asinine, honestly. And when you say that we should bring back live, televised executions for children as young as 12 to watch, that is not a political opinion. That's apparently a self-fulfilling prophecy. And let me be clear, violence is never the answer, and I do not stand for it. But we also can't ignore the fact that for years, this person promoted violence and hate towards others on a huge platform. We need to stop pretending like every belief falls under the umbrella of political opinion. Politics is about governance. Dehumanizing people, encouraging violence, that is not politics. That is extremism. And clearly we can see that when we normalize it, the more dangerous it becomes for everyone. All right, thank you. Class is dismissed.
Let me tell you something. The amount of confusion that I have, especially with the first video, the amount of confusion that I have, I'm just a little bit, I don't even know. Because it's weird in a sense. I'm not even sure what reality I'm living in at this moment in time. The amount of individuals that are coming through with such energy. And I'm like, where were y'all at for all of the other things that go on in the United States? Right? Where are you guys at? Like, where are the concern? Where's the type of animosity? Where's the angst? Where's the real emotion? Right? Where is any of that when anybody else is getting affected across the United States? That's just a simple question that I just want to ask, right? Because as stated before, there's a lot of things that take place across the United States that affects a variety of people. But the only time that anything really means anything is when an idol, somebody that people worship so much, is affected. And then magically, by way of that, by proximity in a sense, it affects everybody else. And now they emotionally feel a certain type of way. But I'm like, you don't have those same emotions for your everyday human being, your everyday family that's affected by a variety of things, out here. Anybody who may be down on their luck in the streets, you don't have that type of energy directly for them. You don't have that type of empathy or that sympathy directly for them. Again, like I said before, for me, it's just a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird, and it's a little bit too much, because the whole general consensus that I've heard from everybody is that we should give the same energy to everybody else out here, because everybody means something. Everybody is important. And because life is so precious, we need to treat it as so. And we need to give as much energy as possible, no matter what takes place or what happens. But it seems as though, because of everything that has taken place, that it's just a bit lopsided, to be honest. Because there's a variety of instances that I've come across, even by myself on the news, when it deals with social media, where people are recording a lot of things that are going, not even going viral, but a lot of things that are happening in their local areas. But you don't see huge numbers of people deciding that they want to make a think piece about it. You don't see huge numbers of people saying that they really care about it, that they really want to take action, that they really want to defend, that they really want to uplift, that they want to pedestalize that person or their ideals or their memory or their family or whatever it is. You don't see any of those things at all. And I just want people to understand that this is what idolization looks like, where people in a sense are so fixated on, this one thing. They're not really fixated on themselves, right? They're not really fixated on their families. They're not really fixated on their lives, because in reality, if people spent as much time as they do fixated on a celebrity, they would actually be far better off as an individual. And this is just facts, right? Because a lot of people who take the time and energy to get good directly at their craft, they become good. They become proficient directly in that craft, and that's because they stayed focused. That's because they worked on self, both mentally and physically. But the people that you just so happen to see online that are giving this variety of emotions directly out here, I promise you that none of those folks out there are working specifically on themselves to better anything that is specifically going on, right? That is going wrong, in their lives. Again, I don't even know at this point where I'm even going with my commentary. I'm not even sure, because boy, I feel like I'm just the only one at certain points in times when it deals with going over, a lot of these videos and a lot of these things that are just out there, where it's like you're looking at it and you want to say something, but it's like, what specifically do you say at this moment in time that's going to make any better sense to a lot of the stuff that just doesn't make sense out here, right? Again, people say that they care, but then when you show the same instance and, it happens to other people, they seemingly, oddly enough, don't care. I mean, it's not odd, it's not as, but I don't know. I think at this moment in time, my hamster has fallen off the wheel and I need a replacement. I think that is where I'm at this moment in time, dealing with this whole situation. Because this is mind-numbing at this moment in time. It is completely mind-numbing at this moment in time. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Just as I feel as though that other people are lost, my thoughts are lost in this whole situation. It's just like my thoughts are they're just out of there. They are just out of there. Like I said, I think what really took it is the first lady that just threw me for a loop, and I'm like, you have to be kidding me. I'm like, you can't be serious. But I'm like, you know what? She's old enough. She's 100% serious. Everything is in concrete. It is in stone. It is in granite, marble, whatever the heart of stone out here. You're not changing her mind. You're not changing her mentality. It is over. So, like I said, we're looking at the perspectives of these individuals out here and their feelings. And boy, oh boy, those feelings. But there's another story that is, in a sense, another video that is going to top this, and that is going to come a little bit later on. And when this came across my desk, I'm like, you have to be kidding me. I'm like, this is just too perfect. It's just too perfect for, the random couple to have this instance happen. Too perfect. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video. I'm still trying to figure some things out. Obviously, I'm out at this moment in time. I don't got nothing for you. I'm just gonna be honest. I got nothing at this point. I got nothing. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Anything that I stated that even made a lick bit of sense in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.